Tiny humans entering the world during a particularly challenging time. But thanks to some innovative business owners in Richmond, Virginia, they will be protected thanks to these tiny face shields.
It totally makes sense because, if an adult would need protection, so would, a newborn.
Burt Green designed the prototype in just a couple of hours and soon had the support of other nonprofits.
I feel very small in all of this. It's really been an incredible team effort.
Babies across the country are safer thanks to this team. They're making them as fast as they can and have already shipped 500 to a Navajo reservation.
As long as there's a need out there, we're going to continue to.
Now that's good to know.
Find something to bring you some happiness.
I wanted to get out and make some music.
People are just so generous and helpful and just really want to make sure that we're all doing okay.
It feels wonderful giving. It's not the receiving.
If you can't get a good workout from it, at least you get a good laugh from it, and bond that way.
Hey everyone, I'm Lindsay Boach. This is Good to Know, a half hour of good news to warm your soul. We've got amazing stories of good people doing good in their communities. We're gonna laugh a little bit and maybe shed a happy tear. And we're kicking things off with a guy in Vermont who's turning a negative into a positive and trying to get high school and college seniors to give up something they're probably not going to be able to use this year. Across the country, healthcare workers continue to help patients battling coronavirus, some without the proper protection they need.
Seeing and learning about some of my colleagues that are on the front lines facing the COVID-19 pandemic, I have been trying to brainstorm ideas to help.
Than Moore is a physician assistant working in an emergency department in Burlington, Vermont. He had an idea to help with the shortage of personal protective equipment and started Gowns for Good.
We're arranging the coordination of the donation from either seniors that are graduating from high school, university, colleges that have postponed or canceled graduations, or else alums that have graduation gowns in their closets that are collecting dust.
Than says that he's seen doctors and nurses without PPE use alternatives like these garbage bags, but they don't offer much protection. There aren't any sleeves and they stop at the waist. The graduation gowns, however, are full length and they offer a protective barrier.
When it boils down to it, we're just looking for something to protect the individual healthcare worker from the patient and then transmitting the disease from room to room, so allow them to have something extra on.
And while Gowns for Good is based in Vermont, the gowns are not being sent to just hospitals in the Northeast. Dozens of facilities across the country are asking for more than 30,000 gowns.
The big centers, California, New York, Washington, have kind of been hit the hardest with their escalating death totals. And we're looking at, trying to distribute our goods to them, but also these other medical facilities nationwide that are reaching out. So we have people from states all over the country that are begging and pleading for our gowns, and we're just trying to get them there as fast as we can.
And they're going to hospitals of various sizes, local clinics, and to assisted living facilities. All you have to do to donate is pack up your clean graduation gown and ship it to one of the facilities listed on the Gowns for Good website.
Not long ago, due to COVID-19,
Dignity Health and a number of other healthcare providers are running out of gowns.
An extensive search and help from the National Guard landed them with 20,000 yards of fabric from North Carolina and this week, a place to sew. Normally, they're helping fashion brands take off. Now Fabric in Tempe is helping nurses and doctors stay healthy.
It starts with us making the belts and the cuffs for the sleeves.
A production line can churn out an estimated 500 gowns in an 8-hour period.
We can have a gown coming off of this line about every 60 seconds here.
The gown was designed by a Dignity Health doctor and is currently under review for the highest level of protection certification.
They're going to be protected as they need it right now in order to not get this virus or to bring it home to their family.
The gown is safe for 100 washes and is washed after every use. It has special elastic to keep the sleeves down and strong stitching to avoid tears while protecting nurses and doctors from contaminated substances.
This is to the healthcare worker now. This is the body armor for the soldier.
These surgical gowns will be distributed to Dignity Health hospitals around the state.
Our friends and family are healthcare providers here, and this is our community, and this is our expertise expertise to be able to do design, development, and manufacturing, why won't we jump in?
In all, Fabric is making 8,500 gowns.
Some college students in Tennessee have invented a cell phone case that keeps you protected, and it'll have you saying, that's a good idea.
This is our initial production facility for our prototypes.
Vanderbilt seniors Andrew Medlin and Isaac Lichter
I had this air filter in my room.
Are working from home, and they don't even have their diploma yet.
All of my friends are still inside doing normal college things, and while it's upsetting we're missing out on our graduation and other things like that, if we can make this product applicable and can really help people, it will be worth it, no question.
All right.
The engineering, science, and public health majors started a company and made their first product during quarantine.
It's called Aris. It's an antimicrobial copper phone case.
Where your fingers are always on copper alloy.
Copper can kill microorganisms it comes in contact with, like bacteria and viruses.
We thought that since we use our phones before, during, and after everything we do, that'd be a great place to put kind of, I guess, a transmission barrier.
Research shows Americans check their phones 96 times a day. That means we're handling it more than once every 15 minutes.
The purpose of this is that you don't have to keep spending so much money on disinfectants and hand sanitizer and all that, because copper will do it for you.
Last month, Isaac and Andrew both had COVID-19. They credit healthcare workers' attentiveness to their recovery.
And they took unbelievably good care of us.
For every case the entrepreneurs sell, they will donate one to frontline healthcare workers.
All these people across America and the world are sacrificing a lot more than we are to help fight this, and we just thought we wanted to help them out if we were going to do this.
Let's not focus on what is lost. Let's focus on making history right now, rewriting history.
Stephanie and Sophia Ubaidi are as close as any mother and daughter can be.
This is something that she can do to change the focus, and also something that we can do together.
Stephanie's husband, Rami, who also works in skilled nursing care with the Heartland Healthcare Centers, suggested the two take a class online to get a temporary nursing certificate.
Sophia said that she would love to do that, and I said, well, hey, I'll do it with you, since we're both sitting here in quarantine. And so I guess we motivated each other.
Stephanie and Sophia passed and are now able to help. They wanted to do what they can in this time of crisis to help out and help families separated by COVID-19, especially family members in nursing homes.
We know that they're a high-risk group and that they need our help.
Rami says he couldn't be prouder of his wife and daughter.
They know they can make an impact as anybody else impact out there. I gave them a little bit of a nudge and they did it. But again, this is one small step for them to give back. It makes me extremely proud to know that they're making an impact in this world.
The Ubaidi family is just doing their part together, helping others and caring for one another when we all need it the most.
It's really just about how people can change their attitude from one of fear to one of helping. And you know, we were looking for something like that to do.
Well, we've heard it a million times. Money doesn't buy you happiness, but $50 is going a long way to help some people do some good deeds in Ohio.
Like many companies, the coronavirus crisis has impacted new innovations, an internet and software supplier for the medical industry.
Right now, the hospitals are not allowing us on campus.
But owner Steve Reed still feels blessed. The office is quiet, but employees can work from home, and many of them are accepting his challenge to do good deeds for those in need. Steve got the idea a few weeks back after buying groceries for his church and some neighbors.
It feels wonderful giving. It's not the receiving, it's the giving of things. And how I felt and my family felt personally, I would like other people to feel that.
To motivate his employees further, Steve promised to reimburse them up to $50 for an act of kindness. One worker responded by making medical shields for a local hospital, and Matt Jackson bought groceries and water for his girlfriend's grandparents who are homebound.
Her grandpa had a stroke a few years back, and her grandma has been taking care of him day and night, 24/7 for the last couple of years.
Others are donating money to food banks or going shopping for neighbors. With 80 employees, Steve could potentially pay out $4,000, and he's happy to do it.
And then when the stories started coming back in to me, I was very inspired by that.
Steve says some of the employees are turning down the $50 reimbursement, but others are matching, giving their own $50 to do good in the community. Steve is now hoping his community caring initiative spreads all over Northeast Ohio.
I'd like to challenge other companies so maybe we can get one to many and try to help a lot more people, not just from our own company, but let's make this larger.
And Matt says helping others makes a huge difference, with so many feeling a lack of control.
If I have one message, probably just little small acts are kind of going to be what gets us all through this, I think. It doesn't have to be something grand.
People want to actually get out, and it helps them to kind of get out, get away from the day-to-day monotony of having to cook 3 meals a day, having to do dishes and deal with children all day.
There's a pretty cool way food trucks are stepping up in communities across America, feeding everyone from families to truckers, and especially stepping up when it comes to feeding kids who get most of their meals at school.
Being in the truck and feeling like I'm still doing some work on here, even though it's a little different flavor, has been really a joyous experience for me. So this baby wants to be on the road, you know?
This is Lev Pasikoff, aka the Smoothie Operator. His food truck is back in business for a very good cause.
Hey, thank you, God bless you.
Lev is part of the Food Truck Convoy, which is employing 9 traveling kitchens to feed families in need all over St. Petersburg.
Service is the best feeling you can have. I truly believe that.
The convoy is the merging of food trucks, restaurants, multiple nonprofits, and tireless volunteers, all led by Radius Church Pastor Blake Clark and social entrepreneur Drew Rabin.
We took a look at problems that are going to occur because of COVID-19. Getting meals to families is critical because families live in food deserts, their kids depend on free and reduced lunches at schools, and at the same time, we put these guys back to work.
Monday through Friday, these food trucks are being funded by the St. Petersburg Foundation to drive all over town, handing out meals prepared by the Hangar Restaurant, plus treats from the Karma Juice Bar and Eatery. Drew says the food truck came together because people just like him were sitting at home and simply wanted to help.
Anybody can make a difference.
A couple of food truck owners in Maryland want to show their appreciation for our country's truckers. They're handing out free hot meals to truckers along I-95 near Baltimore. They call it Meals for 18 Wheels, and truckers are appreciating this rare sign of thanks.
It makes us feel like that we are out here doing something and not just, you know, out here spending time away from family.
With the help of donations, the owners of Two Guys Grill have been able to hand out more than 100 free meals for the men and women who have been rolling with the punches. A couple of surprising doctors have people smiling. There's more that's good to know.